Hello, this is Charlie at My Messy Fingers. We just finished a large album featuring Majestic Dream collection. We had several papers left over, so I am doing a bonus project. It is going to be a small folio, and I've got it kind of laid out. Excuse me. I'm going to be playing with some of the large images, and I'm going to accent them in the spots where you really can't put photos because you're going to have a couple of magnets right here. So we're going to use this as a centerpiece, and you can't put any photos on this piece because you're going to have corresponding magnets. But on the underside here, let me get these out of the way. Excuse me. We will have a spot here for some 3.5 by 5 waterfall, and then a 4x6 waterfall. And we're going to have a flap that comes down on both of these, and we're going to have a flap that comes up on both of these. So let me kind of pull a lot of this apart. Try to remember where I'm going to put everything. So I'm going to layer it here for just a second. Okay, you're going to want to have a couple of sheets of your cardstock. And playing with 8.5 by 11, I cut it down to 8 inches, keeping the 11-inch length on one sheet, and then I cut the second one down to 8.5 inches. You want a total length of 19.25 inches. You're going to score at 5 3/4, 6 3/4, 12.5, and 13.5. So when this is going to fold in, and this is going to fold over, and then this is your outside piece, and this is the back. Okay? And this piece went here. So again, I'm featuring some of the pieces where you're not able to put photos simply because of the way the folio is structured. Now, your 65-pound weight cardstock is really thin, so I want to strengthen up some of the hinges. So I've cut 2 pieces that are 8 inches by 7/8 of an inch. And those pieces are going to come right in here where the hinge is. So it adds a little bit of extra sturdiness to this. So once again, you want an overall length of 19.25 inches. You're going to score at 5 3/4, 6 3/4, 12.5, and at 13.5. You're going to cut 2 of these at 8 7/8 of an inch, and you're going to put them in here in your hinges. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to glue in these 2 pieces. Now there's some other trimming that we're going to be doing that I have not done, but I thought that we would do that together. They're such small pieces, I just did not want to have them laying around here. They kind of, little tiny pieces drive me crazy. I have to get them put into place right away. Okay, so we're putting these in here. This will add some strength to this when this closes up and folds over. All right, so I'm going to take these off. and I'm going to put them aside for now. What we're going to work on now are going to be our top and bottom flaps. You're going to be cutting 4 of them. They're all going to cut the same size. Excuse me. All right, so you're going to want to have 4 of these. Each of them are going to measure 8 inches in your height by 5 5/8 across. You're going to score at a 1/2 inch and you're going to score at 1 inch. Then you're going to take and fold this back, and you are going to come in here. I'm just going to go ahead and do it so you can see what I'm talking about. And you're going to come in here and you're going to line this up. I want to make sure that you're straight across. Don't mind my head. What you want to ensure is that you have not encroached in on your score seam that you have here. And I need to burnish this a little bit, straighten it out. There we go. So you're going to put 1 here and 1 here, and then on the bottom you're going to do the same. So you're going to have 2 flaps that go down and 2 flaps that come up. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to line these up. Oh, come on. Right in the seam, right in between them each. So this is what you have. So when you straighten these out a little bit, and what we're going to be making are some 3/8 of an inch strips to go into here to add some sturdiness to these hinges as well. So now when this closes up, these are going to be standing up flat so they don't collapse like this, and you're going to have them on the top and the bottom. But now you have a nice fully enclosed folio. So let's get to cutting. I wanted to do this kind of separate, but I have like I said, I have no patience for a bunch of small little strips. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 of them that are going to measure 5 5/8 by 3/8. So there's 1. Here's 2. There's 3. And here is 4. Okay, so I'm going to glue them in place. When you have a heavier cardstock, this would have a little more durability to it. So we're going to strengthen up, like I said, these hinges. I'm hoping that this will be enough. We may have to add another layer so that these will stand up. We'll see what happens. I made a lot of these folios, but I've never completed one using 5/8 or a 65-pound weight. So these should, and we'll use a couple of magnets to help hold them in place. Okay, let's close her up. You'll get kind of an idea of what I'm saying. Okay, so when you got your magnets in place, both of these will be nice and level with the top and with the bottom. So that's what it's going to look like. That the bottom, it looks really good without the magnets, but trust me, we're going to need to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and let's place them. This is the part where you're going to struggle a little bit, because I'll tell you, I do. And that's trying to get the magnets in place and keeping these hinges straight, because there's no sense in having a magnet to help keep things even if they aren't even when you put them on. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to drop it about 1 inch off the top. And then I'm going to do my best to keep this hinge using my thumb straight, and then this one straight. It's not even. And it's stuck too soon. For Pete's sake. Let's try this again. I'm going to have to use some glue on this magnet because I've got some paper on it. Okay, stand it up straight, level it out, make sure these are level, and then find your magnet, and then let's stick it in there. So hopefully when you have your magnets in place, that these here are standing up tall. So we're going to go over here and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this about 1 inch down, and I'm going to, I did it again. Okay, stand that one up. Then we're going to stand this one up, and then we're going to bring the two together, and there we go. All right. Now I want just a tad bit of tape so that these don't take a walkabout when we don't want them to be moving around. Okay, we got that done. So the only thing we have left to do is to add the magnets to the outside so that this thing stays square. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to do 2 because it will help support keeping this goodness sakes, I am just struggling here. Stop it. Let go. There we go. Magnets have a mind of their own. All right. I want to put this in about 1 inch, both sides, top to bottom, and we're going to do the same up here as well, about 1 inch in or so. And then we're going to square this up. Hold on just a second. I have to change my magnet. So if you're watching this, this will be good experience. I do have to change a couple of my magnets. Struggling to get this thing to close and stay closed to set these two magnets. And the reason being, oh, for Pete's sake, come on. Yes, I'm scrunching up my paper, but it'll be hidden when I get the pattern paper on here. Okay, I'm going to give up on that for just a minute. The reason I'm struggling is, if you can look at this, how lopsided this is down here, that's because we have a competition going on in here as to which set of magnets is in control. So I'm going to move one set of these. That was the one I added glue to. I'm going to come in an inch off the top here. Okay, make sure that's standing up. This is standing up. That going to work that way? Because see, the other set's down here, so if I set them this way, they're no longer fighting. Each magnet has its own thing going on here. So now if I close this up, let me see, can I get that? Nope, that's not going to help me out at all here. Hold on just a second. We'll fix this. Oh, for crying out loud. And this is all on video. This is so frustrating. But I don't want to stop, but it's just not squaring up. What not to have happen when you're making a folio. I've never struggled like this. I think it's because I make all my folios and then I do my videos. And you're watching. Okay, so now I'm going to slide these off. This one did not. That one's going to go right there. And that one's going to go right there. Okay, I think I have it. So I'm just going to put some tape on these real quick. So if they decide they want this, and okay. Okay, we're squared. We're ready to go. Come on, separate. You won't do that when I get paper on you, brat. Okay, so the outside. We're going to cut and trim this. This came out of a 12 by 12. And this is going to go here. Okay. Now, I'm not inking this time just for the sake of the video, because I've just wasted a whole bunch trying to get that folio put together. This is the image I'm using for the outside of the folio. Those two do not want to separate. And while I have this open, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just gluing these all in here. This is not that critical to tape all this down. And when you cut these, you're just going to cut to fit so that everything stays within your score lines. And then this image over here, hold on just a second, I have to find them. I know these are upper flaps. There it is. And here's the other one. All right, I used this 12 by 12 sheet excuse me, for the back. And then from it, I cut these two strips. Oops, here we go. And they're going to be my edges, like so. And we're going to go ahead and get these glued in. You can use this side if you want, but I really like the other side. And as we get these outer pieces put together, this will firm up rather quickly. And then this one is what's going to go right here. Okay, and it'll definitely go a long way to keeping these magnets from wanting to come apart on each other. Okay, and then this one's going to frame in here on the inside. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and put the ends on. There's that one. And this one. Okay. Wow, I did not set that on there square. Well, I'll have to deal with that later. I'm embarrassed. Okay. we're going to go ahead and finish up what we've got here. We have two more larger pieces. We're going to put this one here. And we're going to put this one over here. So then this will have all three of our internal large panels done. Being mindful of where all your seams are. I'm trying to think how I'm going to fix that front. Okay, and then we're just going to set this one in here. Okay, and then our small waterfall will go here, and our large waterfall will go here. I still don't like this. What can I do here? Because I've got this set here. I don't know that I can. I need to position them so they're not talking to each other when this thing closes. Drop it down a little bit more. That might work. Let's see how this does now. Nope, see what they're doing? Wah! These magnets are quite strong. So I am just going to go this way. I want them a little, some more support going on closer to this end. I am so sorry that this is turning out to be such a fuss. Okay. All right, that'll work. Put them a little bit more in the middle. With these are down here, these are more in the middle, and I'm a little bit more satisfied with how this is all lining up. So let's go ahead and let's get our panels in. All right, this piece here is going to go here. And this piece, these are both on the same 12 by 12. You're just going to cut so that this is framed in for this side and this one's framed in for this side. You can't put any photos here, so you're better off to put some beautiful images because all of your photos are going to actually be on the inside. And that's actually, and that's simply because you cut magnets and some of these pages you can't really build up on, and I think once you get it together you'll see that that's the case. You know, when I turn that over, that front over to burnish, that's where that where it slid. Trying to figure out how I'm going to fix that. I might frame it in. Cut some 1/2 inch pieces and frame in the front. Okay, so that's that. Now, you should have these 2 pieces. Are going to go here. The reverse side is the blue. And then you should have cut 4 pieces from 2 of the remaining papers. I think you're going to have 2 pieces of paper left over. We're using up quite a bit of it to make this. And that's provided you want to make this. I have not given a good display of how it gets done, and I'm so sorry. I do believe you'll like the end result, though. What in the world? I wonder if I cut that to the right. You get to fussing with all that, and this glue dries so fast. Much better. Just gonna stick a little bit of glue here. Let me double check this measurement. So it's gonna come down. You know, I have to trim that one as well. I did it wrong, obviously. So that's what you have here now that when you get this part of it, the build done. And then you open these up, and the only thing we have left now to cover are these big flaps. I am going to turn these 2 under so that I get some of this work here close to me. Now, using that same beautiful strip that we had in the back, we trimmed in a couple more of those to go here on the inside. We want to cover up this hinge. It's not the prettiest of things. So 7/8 of an inch, and then just drop it right into place. You do not want to do that on an inch measurement, because then it's going to be crowding this score line that we've got going here. All right, so for our top panels, I'm going to use this one. This 12 by 12 is going to be used here, and I think I got these numbers upside down. They're going to go like this. I'm going to just double check my measurements. I'm kind of crooked. Okay. God, this is such a beautiful image as well. What's on this side? Oh, you know, you can use either side. You can use, because you can put photos on this, but probably only one. So you can use these images, or you can stick with the numbered images. I'm going to stick with the numbered images because it's where you don't want to, you're going to put photos on these flaps. So you don't want to cover up this beautiful image. So we'll just hide it. Okay, there's that one. And I'm going to double check the measurements for this one. This one looks good. Okay, so now this has both of these sides, and then the undersides are now covered. So what we're going to play with now, we're going to turn these back so we can get them out of the way. And then there is a grayish green, moss green, 12 by 12. That's what I'm putting down here at the bottom. And it looks like I've got them cut to fit. Now, these pieces here that I'm doing, you can use any of your remaining 12 by 12s, depending upon what suits your eye. But I went kind of plain because I know these are going to get covered up. All right, so you can cut some 3/8 inch strips to fill these in. It would go again towards sturdying up these hinges. Use the same piece of paper so you kind of have a continuity of flow. And then I've got green for down here. So 3/8 of an inch to almost the edges. I'm going to set those two aside so that I don't lose them. I'm not going to do them right now. I will do them afterward. What I want to concentrate on is getting in your waterfalls. Okay, so I've cut 4, and from all the scraps, that's where I cut all the papers for. You're going to have 4 of these, find my ruler, that are going to measure 6.5 inches long, 4 inches wide. You're going to cut 4 of these. and they're going to line up about 1/4 of an inch off this edge. You're going to balance it here in the panel, and you're going to layer your waterfall so that you I think that's level. I can't see it. I'm going to turn it upside down and over. So yeah, it looks pretty good. We'll know here in a minute. Okay, those two are lining up okay. Oh, they're lining up all right. Oh, that last one, look at that. It just took a dovetail that way. So I'm not sure why. Why did it do that? Because these are straight. Okay, get those burnished in there. Now, while I'm upside down, I'm going to go ahead and lay in for the smaller waterfall. And again, I cut 4, no, there's 6. You're going to have 6 of these that are going to measure at 5.5 inches. You're going to score it 1/2 inch on this end by 3.5. And again, we're going to tailor them right down the middle. I'm going to start up here at the top, about 1/4 of an inch down. Try and get that level. And let's see how well I do with these cascading down. So far, so good. I think it took 6 of these. Wow, that one just took a nosedive. Not sure what the problem is there. That does not even look like it's sitting in there the right way. Okay, well, that's still wet. And then the last one. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this right side around. So here's your large waterfall, here's your small waterfall, and I have cut out of my scraps 4 panels, which will cover the tops. You do have enough cardstock to cover both sides if that's what you want to do. I'm going to cut 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to cover these hinges both here and here on the bottom as well. We'll go again to help sturdying them up. But that's some extra work. But this gets you the biggest part of the folio complete, and I've got to fix my top. So this is your bonus. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it serves a purpose. And if you chose not to make it, that's okay. You've got plenty of paper to play with and scrapbook with. So thank you. Until then.